Good morning. What a morning it is. So I did it. Not really surprising. I traded in my Monster 1200S for the Streetfighter V4S, and got my first ride today. What a cool bike, man. A couple of things I do miss on my Monster. So this riding position is a little bit more aggressive. I'm a little bit more hunched over, which isn't all that big of a deal. I'll get used to it. But I also miss my exhaust, which is a relatively easy fix on this bike, although it's quite a bit more expensive than my Monster. All of the parts, all of the accessories on this bike are like panic alley prices, so it's gonna be quite a bit more. So like the exhaust tip, actually I could get it fairly inexpensively at around $2,500 shipped, maybe a little bit less, from Terminioni Black Edition, the carbon or titanium. So I'll do that soon. So Sunday morning, super sleepy Sunday morning in the city. We'll kind of take a quick ride through Times Square, and then I'm gonna head upstate for a little bit to 9 West Market for breakfast and bikes. It's their 100th today, so they're expecting a crazy turnout. We'll see how it goes. Meeting up with a buddy of mine to head up there together. Alright, so let's see, what am I planning with this bike? First of all, I gotta get this thing fixed. I ordered some spacers for it. Got that all situated. It's a little bouncy at the moment. The exhaust, obviously. Then I ordered a carbon fiber tank cover, this piece. I ordered a carbon fiber gas cap that doesn't require the key to open. Tank grips, obviously. What else did I get? I was able to, actually right at the dealer, transfer my Aero mirrors over from my Monster to this bike, saved me like $400. Man, this bike is going to sound great with an exhaust. Also, there's a ton less heat. And today's going to be a good test on heat-wise, because we're going to go for a longer ride, but I'm not feeling nearly as much heat as I did on the Monster. I'll report back on that later. I've also got like a full review of the 1200S. I had it for like 6 months or so. I'll put that up at some point. I also wanted to talk quickly about braking. I'm pushing the bike quite a bit, so I kind of want to comment on that a little bit. So dealers tell you to go easy on braking up to 600 miles, like really easy. And there's a site, I'll post a description, that guys in my group swear by, that basically disproves that whole taking it easy part on braking. Which is honestly great, because I don't want to baby the thing for 600 miles. So the ideal braking is super complicated. I'll post a link in the description. Check it out if you got time, if you're interested. But in general, what I'm going to do is second, third, fourth gear, I'm going to get as close to red line as possible. And now fourth and probably third, I'm not going to get anywhere near a red line unless I'm at the track. Certainly not in a city. But the whole point is to get revs up, bring them back down through engine deceleration, through engine braking, to basically set the bike. And again, it gets pretty complicated, so check out the link. But like if you're doing highway miles in the beginning, or if you're doing longer trips in the beginning, which, you know, with a new bike, who isn't? Just make sure that you're not always stuck in the same RPM range in the same gear. Move, like, you know, if you're going 60 miles an hour on the turnpike, or 70, 80, you know, more likely 80, 90 miles an hour on the turnpike, on the New Jersey Turnpike, jump between gears. Don't just keep it at 6. Jump between 6th, 5th, 4th, and just don't maintain the same RPMs. These lights are fucking annoying. Let's get out of here. And deceleration or engine braking is just as important as acceleration in terms of braking. Also, the auto canceling blinkers never fucking work. It didn't work on the Diablo that I had in Colorado. It's not working on this bike, so whatever. Not something I counted on anyway. Super easy to cruise in the city on like second gear. A lot easier than my Monster was, for sure. It's got loads more power than the Monster does, but it's all kind of north of like 6-7K. So it's a little bit more docile. I mean, it's a lot more docile in the city, which I wasn't too keen on in the beginning. It's kind of one thing that kept me from finally pulling the trigger and trading the Monster in. But I think I'll enjoy it on the highway. What a beautiful bike too. I already got the tail tidy on it. I actually ordered the tail tidy well before I got the bike. Well, not well before, but I actually didn't expect it to ship as quickly as they did. They shipped within a day. I'll put a link in the description. This isn't the NRC tail tidy. It's not Competition Works. It's a much nicer tail tidy. Much nicer. Super happy with it. I gotta get rid of these stupid turn signals. I'll put in the Rizoma ones. This is really pissing me off. It's alright, I'll fix it. Nice Sunday morning. Pretty chill outside. Maybe like 70 degrees or so. So one thing that this bike has that the Monster didn't have, it's a V4, right? So it should put off a substantial amount of heat. But at neutral or stopped, it actually shuts off the two rear cylinders, and you could actually hear it. You could actually hear it come on as you feather the clutch. I don't know if you could hear that. Off, on. What a beautiful sound. Definitely need tank grips on here. Still wearing the tires in too, so nothing too crazy. I'll warm it up in the city here a little bit before I head up the Palisades. Again, jumping between gears for braking, decelerating, accelerating. It's such a pleasure to ride. The suspension's a little stiffer now. I've got it on sport mode, which is honestly probably where I'll keep it. I'll have to, the suspension is fully adjustable. It's an electronic suspension. I'll have to play with some of the settings over time. Man, that auto blip up and down is magnificent. I had that on my 1200S, but it just seems so much smoother here. Monster. So easy to ride. Personalities of this bike and the Monster are just so vastly different. Monster just wants to tear your face off at any RPM. This bike stays relatively docile until you get to like 6-7K. There's the rear cylinder shut off. Something. head through Hudson Yards. Much easier to ride in first gear too. Just doesn't feel nearly as jumpy as the Monster. No, it does not like being down low. Not a big fan of this clutch either. Got a friction zone the size of Texas.